This is going to be a high-class mission. The utmost secrecy must be taken. Also, if you are captured, it is imperative that you do not...
Don't worry. They'll be hearing my last breath before they hear me talking.
Are you in the base?
Yeah, no one's spotted me so far.
Hey, what's this box doing here?
Fuck!
Wolf? Wolf? Wolf!
Ah, the legendary mercenary. I've heard so much about you. Read so much about you. It's really too bad we meet under such circumstances. Now, I've heard you have a very high tolerance for pain. So,
Please, I'll tell you anything you want, whatever you want. I'll send a canary, I'll do your taxes, I'll tell you anything, please.
really? I really wanted to.
No, just name it. I'll even give you intricate plans to Mother Base.
No. These things don't concern me. Really, there's only one way of getting out of here alive.
Name it.
I need you, for me, to rank the Metal Gear series.
Really? Fucking really. Alright, before we start, please have a drink of water, please. Oh, God. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, well, welcome to Rank 'em Up, where I take any series and I rank them from worst to best. Today we're doing Metal Gear Solid. Obviously, in honor of Metal Gear Solid 5. Before we start, some ground rules. Well, first off, it must have Metal Gear in the title. It must have a story. No card games, talking to you, Acid. No cell phone games. No remasters, I mean, I'll choose the best of the two. And it must have Snake as a protagonist at one point in the game. Sorry, Metal Gear Rising, but not sorry. I think that's pretty much it. Here we go.
Holy shit, this game is amazing. Those graphics are beautiful. The gameplay is masterful. The mechanics are the future. Oh, I can go anywhere on this map? Awesome. What about... Wait, what? 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 Hold on. I can't let this slide. This is a demo. An over-glorified demo. Yet, technically, it is a full-fledged title. Okay, just to clarify, this is getting the bottom of the list only because this game is essentially a 30-minute long demo that costs $30. Only reason. Other than that, this is an amazing game. I mean, it's a freaking taste of what's to come with Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh god, just moving on, whatever. The original. Originally slated to be an unoriginal action game that involved the player shooting a bunch of characters like, say, a la Contra. Yeah, real original. But thanks to the limitations of the MSX2, this game was reworked to focus more on getting past your enemies than killing every motherfucker that walked through the door. What came of it was actually a near puzzle-like action-adventure stealth game, which has since sprouted into an amazing franchise that is revered by the whole world over. Kojima, I salute you. What made this game a must-own for any fan at the time of its release is the fact that it's a portable 3D Metal Gear Solid game. It had its own story which served as a sequel to Metal Gear Solid 3. It had new mechanics that would find their way into the newer games. Missions were no longer linear thanks to a new stage select mechanic, and Snake would no longer have to fly solo on missions. And who would go on these missions with you? Well, Snake could now kidnap enemies and recruit them. Sweet. only gripe with this game is the fact that it was on the PSP, and the single control stick did limit the controls a tad. Other than that though, this is a must-play for any fan. Metal Gear 2. And no, I don't mean the re-release, I mean the old one, the one that stole the likenesses of all the Hollywood actors. Snake as Mel Gibson, Gray Fox as Tom Berenger, Dolph Lundgren as, that guy. Also, Sean Connery as Big Boss. God. Besides that, the game pretty much cranked up the original's gameplay to 11, and followed that up with an engaging story full of a cast of characters which you all feel connected to by the end. Even though they're merely static photos, we can empathize with their plights. While the original paved the way for gameplay, this one for sure paved the way for the series' iconic storytelling. Alright, I get it. Raiden is a terrible protagonist, he's so whiny. Also, really, naked cartwheels? How dare Kojima fool us by not telling that Snake would not be the main protagonist. Whatever, let's just leave that shit to the side, and let's just focus on the fact that this game is amazing. Nearly every boss battle is memorable. The graphics are beautiful, especially in the HD version. The new FPS mechanics were a welcome addition that made its way into every incarnation after. The story was actually well done, pretty damn emotional, and the soundtrack was great. Can we all just settle down and just accept the fact that this game is amazing the way it is? I mean, it's oh, god damn it! On the PSP, this game was great, but when it was re-released on the PS3 for an HD release, let's just say all of the previous limitations just washed out of our minds. Seriously, there was a PSP version first? Doesn't seem like it. Taking all the new features from Portable Ops and refining them, Peace Walker became a masterpiece. Not only that, now you had to worry about building up your newfound mother base, which meant more recruiting and more salvage missions. Also, the stakes were much more higher this time around. What we now had here was a stealth-based action tower defense real-time strategy game, with some RPG elements thrown in the mix. Usually with other developers, this would have come out as a convoluted mess, but not Kojima. The man shits gold. Yeah, a Game Boy Color game. Calm the fuck down, put your pitchforks down and just level with me, alright? Hold on. The only non-canon title of the bunch, this game takes all the games that came before it, throws it into a blender, and hits frappe. What you're left with is a perfect game. A perfect game. I am not shitting you. The stealth gameplay of Metal Gear 2 is utilized perfectly. The story mirrors that of Metal Gear Solid 1 in complexity and scope. The controls are basic as hell, but tight. Also, this game comes with tons of extra content, VR missions, and a multiplayer mode. Did I mention this game was on Game Boy Color? Seriously, the only problem someone could have with this is, oh god, it's on Game Boy Color. But how the hell is that a negative? With its technical limitations, it still provides a full-fledged Metal Gear experience. This baby is hands down the best game on the GBC, and deserves to be high on this list. So many cutscenes! But damn it, are they all fucking superb. First off, I just want to throw this out there. I beat this game in one sitting on my first playthrough. I am not kidding. Yeah, that's how amazing this game was. I refused to stop until I was completely done. The amount of customization, the vibrant, beautiful level design, the gameplay was perfect, and my god, the story. That is how you end a franchise, at least chronologically. It tied up everything up so neatly. Also, it's hands down the most emotional game of this series. Seriously, I cried at the end of this game. No bullshit. While Metal Gear may have kickstarted the series, this turned Metal Gear into a household name, taking everything that made Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake amazing and just adding in a third dimension, as well as an amazing voice cast and a phenomenal story, made this game enter a higher state of being. No longer was this just a game, it resonated a lot deeper than that now. We now felt like we were in the action. Similar to Mario 64, this series made a perfect jump into 3D. It also stands out as one of the most iconic games of all time. I mean, before this game, games weren't really cinematic. But after this game, every game tried to be cinematic. Stuff like Psycho Mantis reading our minds is still talked about today. Hearing David Hayter for the first time made us care for the hero whose life we now held in our hands. Everything was on a much more grander scale, and this became a staple in the game industry, which now everybody had to acknowledge. Also, yes, the original is better than Twin Snakes. Call it nostalgia, but I'm calling it superiority.
Yes!
Obvious choice, yeah. But seriously, is there any surprise? Snake Eater is the perfect Metal Gear Solid game. Playing off the whole tone of the game as like, a Bond flick. This game took us from the metallic corridors of a military base to a harsh jungle setting. Not only was the threat of being caught a tension builder, now we had a whole survival system, where you now had to worry about Snake's hunger and internal injuries that you had to care for over time. The immersion was sky high in this game, which was perfect because the game provided us an amazing story that pretty much defined the whole Metal Gear world, sticking us right in the middle of an alternate Cold War. Seriously, this is probably one of the best plots, and it may be convoluted, yes, but it's probably one of my favorite of all time. Hell, even the very last line of dialogue blew my fucking mind. MGS3 is how you make a sequel. You take everything that made the past titles great while adding in new things that only accentuate the previous games. It is one of my favorite games ever made, and that alone makes it worthy of the #1 spot.
Well, that's the list, and obviously I'm making this in honor of Metal Gear Solid 5, which I would have loved to put in this list, but at the time of this, making this video, it's not out yet, so obviously. I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. Satisfied.
3 better than 1? Nope.